Well, good morning, everybody. This is Linda from, excuse me, from North Central Texas. And I'm going to see if I can get some seed started this morning. And also get out here and uncover some of my pots that I had covered up because of the cold weather. Because it's supposed to warm up. And look at there, my beets survived. My cardboard is wet, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because it's supposed to get cold again in a few days at night. And I might need that again. But I got some parsley that was coming up. See what was under this one. Oh, this was carrots. So they're starting to look good. See what I got over here. Yeah, this cardboard has to dry out a little. And this is the green cabbage. So my plants did survive that were covered up there. Let's see where else. I think I had like one or two little things in this pot out here, or these dish pans. And look at there. I do have some radish alive. Not many, but... And I don't remember what was in there, carrots or something. I think they got too much water, but a couple of them are alive. Let's see about my peas over here. Hopefully this cardboard will dry out so I can put it in the shed in case I have to put it back out here. But look at that. We got the biggest one alive. We got a couple next to it that are alive. So maybe they'll come back out and start growing these next couple of days because it's supposed to be warm with the sun shining. See what's... Oh, my leeks are looking good. They're getting bigger. So, and see, that's what I was talking about. Just that ice and snow we got almost filled these buckets up with the runoff from the totes. And that's going to be good compost tea right there to water plants with. And look at there. I think that was, yeah, Chinese cabbage right there that made it. And I was running out of pots that were the right size. So look at that. That's two different types of plants in there. And I'm not sure right offhand what it was. But I think one of them was a broccoli or Brussels sprout. And I think this was one of the cabbages or Chinese lettuce or something. But see, all I did was either cover it with a plastic bag or that's Chinese cabbage. Just getting too wet in there. Maybe it'll dry out these next couple of days. I got one living in there. And it looks almost like that might be a winter squash. So I don't know if it'll survive or not. Come over here and see what we got. This is the top of the... Yeah, that plant lived. Like I said, in a couple of days, we're supposed to get down to like 30, 29, 28 degrees. But we're going to get a good hard rain There's some of my greens. See what was in this one in the bottom. Oh, they're looking good. That was the Swiss chard right there. So that's looking good. It looks like I got radishes or something trying to come up in that. I went ahead and covered my onions up. Which they probably didn't need it, but I did it anyway. And there is my kale. That looks real good after being under the cardboard. And like I said, I got to save this cardboard even though it's wet. Because I'm going to stand it up here and let it dry out for a day or so before we get the rain, and maybe it'll be dry enough to put in the shed. I got a pot over this one. And that plant in there lived. Just one in there. I almost didn't cover it up because it was only one, but then I decided, oh well, why not? I'm going to have to get on the other side of this one. I may have to put this camera down to get that uncovered because I've got it tied on there. Goodness gracious. And get it untied. If I can get this knot untied. Yeah, a couple of them made it in there. 2 plants. And whatever seed may be down there that didn't come up yet. Oh. Get these rocks off of it. Yep, those 2 survived and looked like they liked it down in there. And look at there. These liked it too. They're kind of squished down, but they're alive. Like I said, I got to hold on to my cardboard. See if I can let it dry out a little bit. So I can put it in the shed and keep it. Because not too long it's supposed to we're supposed to get a lot of rain, and then we're supposed to get I think the next night after the heavy rain we're supposed to get down to like 29 degrees. And I'm gonna have to put this down. I know I'm showing everything but what I should show. Oh. At least there you can see what I'm doing. Got to take care of my tarps because I'll probably have to use them again in a few days. Well, let me take the camera over here and see what the end results of this was. Look at there. They've been covered up for, what, 4 or 5 days now? But they're alive. Well, part of them are. There's a Brussels sprout. All of them are Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts and garlic. So that just shows you that it works if you cover things up. And I'm not sure what type of thing this is growing in there. I don't know if it's an onion. Yeah, it's an onion. Got onions growing in there. And I didn't know what that was. Let me put that one back down in the dirt. They must have come up from other seeds or something that I planted. And I put that blanket up there on the line to let it dry out because it was kind of damp from being over the greenstalk tower. Put that onion back down in there. And that's where I was going to put those onion bottoms that I had rooting back there. And you know what? Since it's going to rain, I need to empty those cans of water into the compost tea buckets. Probably need to cut those little spouts off just a little. But yeah, I've got a bucket full of compost tea runoff that come out of that tub. And I'm not going to let it go to waste. Nothing definitely doesn't need to be watered right now, but I can save this compost tea So that filled that bucket up. Because remember, we put food scraps and all kind of stuff down in them totes. And it's been starting to break down. So now when it rains, all the excess water is going to go in those buckets. There's another one. I know I'm not showing it very well, but I'm going to put it over here and fill up another compost tea bucket with it. Whew. Have to put this down for right now. Put more in the blue one. That's got that one filled. So all three of these buckets are full. Can go around here and see which ones needed to. Well, can probably get some in that one. See if I can get any in my. Oh, that one's full. Might have to leave some of them where they're at. I'll get one in there. So let's go around there and take this one back. I need to check in my greenhouse too and see what's going on in there. See, we got this one. It's not quite as full as the other ones, but there's quite a bit of tea in there. Now I got my rubber boots on today because it's wet out here. Kind of wet. Oh. And we can go get the other one. See there? It's full of compost tea from last year. And I'm trying to put it on my bucket or my boots so I don't spin you around so much and you get dizzy. It's about 40 degrees out here this morning, which seems like a heat wave. Yeah, I've got to cut that off a little. Seems like a heat wave right now this morning, opposed to what it was yesterday and the day before, which was only in the 20s. And it's supposed to get warmed up pretty good today. In the 60s, I think. And then tomorrow, it's supposed to warm up to, I think, 70. So we're going to have some nice days this week. And these plants are going to love the sunshine. That's why I wanted to get them uncovered now, because covered up they'd be too hot probably. They get too hot. And that might kill them just from being too hot. So I'll come out here later and cut that off. I have to get something to cut it with. But yeah, I need to let that cardboard dry out a little bit so I can store it in the shed for the next time, which will be, I think, around, see, this is Sunday. I think it'll be about Thursday or Friday of this coming week that it's going to get below freezing again for 2 nights, unless they change the forecast between now and then. Oh, there's my buddy. There's my little buddy. Hey there, buddy. Hey there. Hey there, nice buddy. He come to say hello this morning. Yes, he did. Yeah, he come to say hello this morning. See where I can put my camera that you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. Well, that's not going to work. I put it in there backwards. I may have to put it back over here. Yeah, that might work for right now. But like I said, I've got 2 cans that I'm going to try. One is a vegetable can, one is a evaporated milk can, and I couldn't put holes in the very bottom without a drill or a nail, so I took my can opener and I was able to put 2 little holes in each side of the bottom of it, so that'll work. But I've just got potting mix, and I didn't put my gloves on. Oops. It'd help if I take the lid off of this. And what I've got here is a 70 quart clear tote. And it's from Sterilite. So you can pick these up at Walmart, I think, if they have them in stock, for about $10. Something like that. And I need to go get my trowel. I laid it down back here. I think if Walmart is out of them, you can get them at Home Depot. Home Depot does charge a little bit more for theirs. So I always try to get mine at Walmart if I can, because there's so many people that are buying them. I know sometimes you might be able to catch them at the Goodwill store, but I've never seen any in there. I think everybody's been buying them. So if you don't catch it just right in the Goodwill store, they're not going to have them because people buy them up. And I do need to go out there and see if I've got any of those pots left in the greenhouse. We'll go out there in just a minute and see. I'm going to see how many I might need. Trying to break this up a little bit. And I am filling them up, but I'm not packing them down. Because, you know, once it gets wet, it's going to kind of settle. See how many I need in here. And I don't really like the way the bottom of this toad is. It has a raised area in the center. But it might work out pretty good. And this is something I'm going to need my compost tea for. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and get some. bring you over here and show you what I'm doing. But you can see, don't have it quite full of pots yet. But I'm going to go ahead and put some compost tea in there. And that'll be enough for right this minute. I'm going to go ahead and finish filling up my cups. Like I said, we're fixing kind of a self-watering little miniature greenhouse for my seedlings to start. Because all that compost tea is going to be absorbed up through the bottom of these cups. So when I get my seeds in there, the dirt's not going to be disturbed. And let's see, I need a few of those green cups those black cups out of my greenhouse if I can find any out here. And we can check on the stuff in the greenhouse while we're here. Because it'll probably get too steamy. Let's sit this down. For right this minute, let me get this door open. And I need to buy a new cover for my greenhouse because this one has basically been disintegrating. The plastic that 105 and 100 degree temperatures didn't help this greenhouse last summer. See if maybe I can stick it right there. It'll be out of my way for right now. And we can go ahead and take the tree collard out and put it in the sunshine. Put it right there. See there? Got to take care of that. That's the only one of the tree collards I got left. And my potatoes. Look at that. That's definitely going to be a bucket full of potatoes right there. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potato plants. And that's all coming up from the compost. So that's free plants right there. But I wanted to get in here and check on my rose bushes. And see, every single one of them don't look great, but for the most part, I've got some roses. That one's starting to come out. That one's little, but it's sure starting to grow. So, My aloe vera is still alive. And look at here. There's a rose bush there started. They're all looking good. That one started to put out some flower. I mean, not flowers, but some leaves. That one's starting to barely put out some leaves. I gotta make sure I keep water in there too. That one is. Look at there. So see, really, if you got it in a plastic greenhouse like this, you probably don't even need to cover it up. But look in there. They're all looking good. They're putting out new growth right there. They all are. And those were the last ones that I planted because I had to replace some of them, if you remember. And there's my little Chinese cabbage plants I stuck in here so they wouldn't freeze. There's a rose bush there, a knockout rose. There's my knockout rose bush. It's starting to get a little cramped in there. Look at that. And probably after this week, I'm going to take the covers off of those. Because they're in the greenhouse. They should be pretty well protected. But anyway, these little cups. See, I got a bunch of them up here, all different sizes. And that's about the size of the... But that's what I used to put all my rose cuttings in down there, was those cups that I saved from buying plants in the past. Like that one. And these right here. Whoops. Don't want them too big. But those will work great. Over the years I had bought plants. And I saved my pots because I said they'd be great pots to plant stuff in, and I don't have to buy any. So let's take these over there and see how many of them I need to put in the little miniature greenhouse. I mean, that would have cost a few dollars, you know, if I'd have had to have bought these pots. So, I'm spinning the camera around. I'm not used to filming. You can tell that. Not used to filming at all. But let's get these other ones full. Yeah, I'm going to push it down just a tiny bit. Not too much. Because I want something sturdy for those roots to grow into when they start putting out roots. I just don't want it completely loose. I don't know if I want that little can in there in the corner or not. Want to put one of those other cups in there. Don't want them to stay too wet. And you know, sometimes if you go by one of the stores when they reduce their plants down, you can get like 6-packs for practically nothing. Where you can buy these cups, buying the old half-dead plant for only about maybe $1. And sometimes the plants will live, and you'll not only have the plant, but you'll have the cup to start your seeds in. Try 1 or 2 of these. See, I'm filling it up, and then I'm kind of pushing it down just a little bit till it's about 1 inch from the top. Oh, I'm not even going to need all those. Yeah, those odd shaped ones work real well. It's already starting to soak up the compost tea. Let's see if I can get the camera over here a little closer. So you can see what I'm doing. I've got all my seeds here. And these are some new tomato seeds that I ordered. They're a large tomato. It's a dwarf bush tomato. And you know what? I've got to go get my markers so I can put my markers in there. Be right back. I don't want to plant my seed without marking it. I have my markers in the bag, but I didn't bring out my marker to write with, so I had to go get that. See, there's my markers. And this is a dwarf. I don't know that I've ever it's a dwarf bush tomato. So there's one. Two. Dwarf bush tomato. And I'm going to go ahead and stick my, well, I'll wait and, but I'm only going to put like 2 seeds at each one of these. If I can get them out. Two in that one. 2 in that one. I only got enough for, I guess, 3 in each one. Because like I said, when you're planting them in this size pot, you can, and I just put them on the top and then push my finger down to where they're about 1/4 of an inch deep. And then cover them up. Because like I said, we're not going to water from the top. We're going to let it soak up water from the bottom. And my porch is not very level. See if you can see it better that way. So I got 3 pots of the dwarf tomatoes. And like I said, I'm not going to plant all my seeds right now. I'm just going to plant some of them to get a jump on growing them. Lavender. I've never grown lavender before. So I wanted to try some lavender. Maybe 1 pot. 1 or 2 pots of lavender. No, it says to start these outdoors. 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 But you know what? I can start some of my pepper plants indoors right now. Because I didn't have too much luck with my bell pepper last year because it was so cold. Bell pepper. Get 3 of my bell peppers going. I'll get this package open. Maybe I'll start 4 of my bell pepper. Or 5. How's 5? Because you can start those outside in March. start a few of them early. And I really wanted you to see what I was doing over here. See, I've got 2 seeds right there. And I'm just going to push them down about 1/4 of an inch and then just cover them up a little bit. Do that with all of them. It's like I said, I'm not going to water them from the top. Let's see, maybe I can put this up here. That might work. Wanted to start some Roma tomatoes. I don't know if you can see those. Because my Romas didn't do well last year. It got too hot on them. But I said, well, maybe if I start them early. I'll have better luck. Now I'm going to start 3 of my Roma tomatoes. Like I said, I only put maybe 2 seeds in each pot. Three at the most. Because if all 3 of them come up, you can separate them, and that'll just give you an extra plant. And you'll have an extra in there if in case they don't come up. But again, I'm just taking my finger, pushing the seeds down a little bit, and then covering them up slightly with the dirt. That's all there is to starting seedlings. Now let's see what else I'm going to start. I know I want to get some of these new tomatoes in there. A lot of this stuff can be started later. But I've got, like I said, 3 new tomatoes that I wanted. I've got the Delicious, the Brandy Boy Hybrid, and then the Burpee Super Steak. So I'm going to start a couple of pots of each one of those. Super Steak tomato. Because, I mean, you only get like 25 seeds or so. So you don't want to waste your seed. They are kind of small. Well, I'm going to start 4 of them, I guess. Now, like I said before, I'm just going to go around and push them in, cover them over a little bit. So that's 4 of those. And I've got enough for 3 or 4 of the other ones. Because I already know my grape and my cherry tomatoes, they do fantastic just directly sown. And I may succession plant these. You know, when some of these come up, I may go ahead and plant more after I transplant these. And I may use the totes in the shed that have the rose cuttings in. I could use those. Let's see, these are the brandy. Boy. Tomato. I'll do 4 of those. And I'm going to have 2 of these in those little cans. So we'll see how the cans work out. I think I've planted in cans before and they seem like they did okay. And like I said, if they don't come up, you know, you've always got some backup seed to plant some more. So now I'll plant my delicious tomato. That brandy boy is a pretty color. And this is the delicious. I'll have 3 pots of the delicious. If I spell them right on the tag. These seeds are so tiny. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more compost tea down in there. Because when these pots soak up that water, it's going to go down pretty fast. Now, what I'm going to do is set them right out here in the sunshine. I'm going to let my seeds get the regular sunshine. And I'm not going to lock the lid down. I'm going to give those pots time enough to soak up the water. Let me show you what I'm doing over here. I keep forgetting to move the camera. But see, I've set them out here on my sidewalk, right next to my front porch, and they're in the sun. Now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave them out in the sunshine. That way I don't need grow lights. And as I need to, I can turn my tote. If it gets too hot during the day and it gets too hot in there, I can always take the lid off, or I don't have to secure the lid down. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and, I think, secure my lid. And then watch it. And that's all you got to do. I mean, since you got your holes in the bottom of your cups and your little tin cans, that compost tea is going to be absorbed from the bottom up. And those little seeds will end up getting that moisture. Plus, you'll end up with condensation in here. And the moisture itself will, get down on the top of the pot. So, that's it. That's all I can plant today until I do something with the other totes in there. I'll see how this one goes, and I may start some more seeds after this. When these get big enough to take out, I may start another batch in there. I don't know. We'll see. But that'll get me a start on my tomatoes, my bell pepper, all different types of tomatoes. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I was going to make sure I had a banana pepper in there, and I didn't do that. Oh, well, the banana peppers grew real well last year, even though I sowed them in March. So I can wait on them. But there you go. I've got like 4 different types of tomatoes in there. Bell pepper. Let's see, what else did I plant? Did I just plant peppers and... Maybe that's what I did. I planted all bell pepper and tomatoes this time. Because I wanted a lot of the big plants, the big tomatoes. I love the cherry tomatoes, and I'm going to plant a bunch of them again this year like I did last year, because they survive through the summer, the heat, and they keep producing all summer long. Whereas these larger tomatoes, a lot of times they'll grow, they'll produce a ton of tomatoes all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden they quit producing and the plants die off. So I'm probably going to, like I said, plant those in succession to where I can keep the bigger tomatoes growing most of the summer, right along with my other grape tomatoes and all the other stuff. So if you've got you a big clear tote, use it as a greenhouse right now for your plants. And if it gets down freezing cold, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this tote and set it inside the house. Or I could, if there's room, put it in the greenhouse. But I'll probably just set it inside the door of my house, and then I can just set it out the next day. The 2 nights it's coming up that it's going to get below freezing. So, anyway, that's what I'm doing. And you can see I've still got tons more seed down in there. And that's just like 1/4 of the seeds that I have. Oh, this is something I wanted to do too. I'm going to have to take a scoop of this. Around here to this pot, because this is the one that I was starting some cilantro in, and I wanted to get the cilantro started early because last year, by the time I was able to harvest cilantro, my plant bolted. It got too hot on it. But of course we had that 105 and 110 degree weather. But I did save seed from my cilantro last year. So I'm going to throw a few seeds around in here. That way, I can take it out if I need to. See, those seeds are not very big. That's one of the seeds right there. Oh man, you can tell I got allergies. I start shoveling this dirt around and I start coughing because I start breathing it. But that'll give that cilantro a good start. And that's one little cilantro right there. But that's about it for today. I've got to clean up all my mess now. I got to get all this stuff put up. Get my cups back in the shed over there. Get my seeds put up. But see there, it's early in the morning right now, so it's getting morning sun. And I can move it later today so it gets more sun. This picture does not, I mean, the video does not really show the sun that it's getting right now, but it's getting a lot of sun in there. And I've got probably an inch, a little bit more than an inch of compost tea in the bottom of that. Because like I said, there's a hump kind of in the middle that makes the pot sit up a little higher. I don't know why they put that in there. But, so therefore I had to put a little bit more compost tea in there than normal because it's not completely flat. And the pots will absorb that compost tea from the bottom up. And it'll only absorb what that pot needs. So then when you notice that the water level is down and you need to add more water or compost tea, you can. But that's my seed starting right there. I've got tons of tomato plants and bell peppers in there that's going to be coming up. And like I said, 3 of those tomatoes, this will be the first year that I've tried planting those. Like this delicious tomato. And this is the Brandywine. That's the Super Steak. And like I said, I planted these Roma tomatoes last year. But I only got a few tomatoes off of them because the plant, it just got too hot. So I figured if I started the Roma early, to where the plant is already up and growing and, you know, growing good by the time I transplant it in March, that maybe it'll produce more tomatoes for me this year. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm going to go ahead and clean up all of my seeds and everything. Get them put back in the house. And see what else I can do today. But I had promised you I was going to, you know, start some seeds. And I want to do some lavender. And these bell peppers that I planted, they're a mixed seed. There's green, there's the gold ones, the red ones, kind of a Brandywine colored one. But I want to start lavender this year. And parsley, I have not started parsley yet. So that's next on my agendas right there. The parsley and the lavender. But with that, I'm going to end my video. Please like and share, subscribe my videos, share them so other people will see them that maybe have not seen my videos. And hopefully they'll go ahead and subscribe to my channel. But like, share, subscribe, and y'all have a blessed day. I'll see you on my next video. Have fun planting your seeds.